This is lesson 37, chemical compounds and parallelograms, all right? So we have our chemical formula for water is H2O. If we have 3,600 grams of water, what is the weight of the oxygen? All right. So we're going to make a fraction box for these. If you make a fraction box, it will be much easier. All right. So for this one, we have the H's, which are hydrogens, and the O's, which are oxygens. So we're going to do H, O, and T for total. Hydrogen, oxygen, total. All right. Now, the first thing you're going to write is the subscripts. So there are 2 hydrogens in each little water compound. Okay, and there's 1 oxygen for a total of 3 molecules. All right, and for the next one, we're going to put how much each weighs. All right, so the next one, they're going to tell you in the problem how much each weighs. That's what that little thing is in parentheses, okay? So each oxygen weighs 16. So next to the oxygen, and they don't always go in order, right? So be sure you're looking. Next to the oxygen goes 16. Okay, next to each hydrogen, each one weighs 1. All right, and then we never add this column, okay? Just don't add it. You don't need to add it. Okay, the next thing we do is multiply. So this column here is always going to be 2 times 1 is 2. This is where you're multiplying across, okay? So each hydrogen weighs 1 for a total weight of 2, and each oxygen weighs 16 for a total weight of 16. This is the one you will always add on for total weight after you multiply. All right. All right, and then it says we have 3,600 grams of water. That would be our total. All right, what is the weight of the oxygen? So that's where we put our X. And we cross multiply with just what we have. So you don't need this top one. We're going to cross multiply here. 16 times 3,600 equals 18 times X. Divide by 18 on both sides. All right, 18 goes into 36 actually twice right here. So that would be 200. And 200 times that 16 is 3,200 grams. All right, so that's how much the oxygen weighs of the whole compound. Okay. Let's try one more. Yeah.
Do we get marked off points if we don't do the box?
No. The chemical formula for Freon 12 dichlorofluoromethane is CCl2F2. If we have 1,200 grams of Freon 12, that's the total. How much does the carbon weigh? All right, so we're going to start by separating out how many elements we have. All right, so for this one, you guys, you have C, Cl, and F. C, ClF, and total. So for this one, I need to do carbon. What's Cl, you guys? Yep. What's F? Fluorine and total. All right. Okay, for the first thing we do is the subscripts here. So each of these Freon 12s has 1 carbon, 2 chlorines, 2 fluorines for a total of 5. Okay. The next one we do is the weight. Again, make sure you read carefully. So your carbons each weigh 12. Your chlorines each weigh 35. Your fluorines each weigh 19. You do not need a total here. Okay, we multiply now. I have 1 times 12 for a total weight of carbon, 2 times 35 for a total weight of chlorine, and 2 times 19 for a total weight of fluorine. Add those all up, and we get 120. All right, now we do the actual stuff. If we have 1,200 grams of Freon 12, that's the whole entire molecule. So 1,200 goes here. How much does the carbon weigh? So this one has 2 rows you are allowed to cross off. And then we will cross multiply 12 times 1,200 equals 120 times x. This goes into this 10 times and then multiply here. So we get 120 grams, and this would be of the carbon. Oh. All right. There you go. Okay, a couple important things about quadrilaterals. So first of all, the formula for a trapezoid, in case you forgot, area equals the height times base 1 plus base 2, all divided by 2. So again, a trapezoid might look something like that. That was terrible. Okay, these are parallel, or they're supposed to be. Okay, so they would have to give you a height, and then you'd have a base 1 plus a base 2, all right, and all divided by 2. Okay, a parallelogram looks like this. There are 4 important things that I want you guys to write down about parallelograms, and we will use to solve different problems. Can anyone tell me anything interesting about this parallelogram, Tristan?
Well, one interesting thing is that the opposite angles are
Exactly. That's equal to that. That is equal to that. Opposite angles are congruent. You're going to have to write this out. You can write it like that. Has a little shortcut for your reasoning, okay? Opposite angles are congruent. Yeah.
it's got 2 pairs of equal length lines.
Okay. This side right here is equal to this side right here. Okay. This side right here is equal to this side right here. So we could say opposite sides are congruent. Okay. Will? Okay, that's true, but we don't have to write that one down. Amy? Yes. All right, we are going to get, yeah, that actually is important. We're writing that on here. Okay, you guys, diagonals look like this. So if you connect from opposite corner here to opposite corner and opposite corner to opposite corner, they bisect each other, meaning this segment right here from here to here is equal to this segment from here to here. Okay, we're going to use the shortcut D, which means diagonals bisect each other. All right, so additionally, this little piece here is congruent to this little piece here. Adrian? Okay, 360 degrees is the total. Yep, the other interesting thing, what do we know about this angle plus this angle? Yep. Okay, or this angle plus this angle, 180. Or this angle plus this angle. These are called adjacent angles, meaning like next to each other. Adjacent angles add to 180. I don't know if you want to shortcut that like this. Adjacent angles equal 180. I don't know. Okay, that could be our shortcut. However you want to write that. Okay, so you might have a problem like this. ABCD is a parallelogram, and the measure of angle ABC, so let's see what angle that is. ABC. When they tell you an angle, you need to trace it, and it's the middle one they're talking about, right? So you want to be like, okay, ABC, that's this entire angle, is 125 degrees. Find the measure of BDC. All right, BDC would be, or no, BCD, sorry, BCD. So that's this one right here. All right. BCD. And find the measure of angle DAB. 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 That'd be this one. All right. And then find X and Y. So you guys, let's do the angles. How could I find this angle C right here, you guys? What do adjacent angles add up to? 180. So I know that I could write a little equation, I suppose. 125 plus that angle C is equal to 180. So subtract 180 from both sides. Whoops, or 125 from both sides. And I get 55. Okay. My reasoning adjacent equal 180. I'm going to do that. It's kind of a cheat. That makes sense? Add to 180. Okay. How about angle DAB? What's that one right here? If this one is 55, what is this one? 55, okay? Opposite angles congruent. There we go with that. Opposite angles are equal. Okay. Now we also need to find x and y. X and y are almost like a different problem, so I might erase all this angle stuff off of here so it's not confusing. All right, x and y. Who could write an equation for x or y for me? Johnson? Yep. You guys, x plus 2 equals 6. See this piece here? It is congruent to this piece here, right? That's a diagonal, and it got bisected. So subtract 2 from both sides, so x is equal to 4. I don't know why my computer's doing that. All right, and who can tell me the other one to find y? All right, Adrian? There you go. 2y minus 4 equals 8. This part of the diagonal equals this part of the diagonal, right? From here to here equals here to here. So we would add 4, that would be 12, and we would divide by 2, y is 6. Yes, Peyton. Good question. The reasoning would be diagonals bisect, diagonals bisect. Yeah.
Always be the opposite and they're equal, like x and y would always be 6, or they both be the same.
They're yeah, this is like 8 and 8, yes, and then this is 6 and 6.
Yes, then could you just solve for one and have the answer for the other one? Because they both came out as 6.
Well, this one's 4.
Oh. Okay.
So no. You have to do them separate. All right, here's another one you might see, okay? We have another parallelogram. This time they're giving us some things about the angles. Raise your hand if you could write an equation to solve for x or y. Stella. Okay, I agree with you that this equals this. Okay, but that doesn't help us solve because that's 2 different variables, right? So we have a little problem. Amy? Are you talking about this angle plus this angle? Oh, shoot. Tristan? Okay, you're already adding those? Yes. So you guys, why is it best to add these 2 angles together to get 180? Nathan? There's only one variable, okay? So look for where you have the same variable. We know that any 2, like next to each other angles add to 180. So these 2 both have y's, so those are the best ones to add together, all right, to start. So I'm adding these 2 together, and that equals 180. And again, our reasoning is adjacent angles equal 180, or add to 180, okay? So then, yep, I get 18y plus 90 equals 180. Subtract the 90 from both sides, that gives me 90. Divide by 18, and that gives me 5 for y. All right? Now, if I just go ahead and plug in right here, okay, what is this whole angle now equal to? 120, because 10 times 5 is 50, plus 70 is 120, which means what is this angle equal to? They're equal. Opposite angles are equal. So now I can say x plus 50 is equal to 120 because opposite angles are equal, and subtract 50 from both sides, so x is equal to 70. Okay? Let's try some whiteboards. All right, you guys, this angle right here, they're telling us the measure of angle BAD, B-A-D. This whole angle is 65. So this one over here is 65. So this one is 115 because they have to add to 180, okay? Opposite angles add to 180, or adjacent angles add to 180, and opposite angles are equal, all right? This piece equals this piece, so y is -3, and this piece equals this piece, so x is 5. All right, we got one more. Let's try this one. I know. Try this one as well. So opposite angles add to 180. So you guys, this one is 75 IQ. This one over here is 93 because these have to add to 180 IQ. All right, then you want to look at this 105 angle. It is an inscribed angle, and it intersects this huge arc here. If you double it, you get 210 for that whole arc. Then you subtract 112, which means x is 98. You used inscribed angle and subtraction, but you can say IA. Okay, that's it. All right, I'm going to pass out your set now.